I think today I played with confidence and I finally saw the work that I put in the off season translated to this game. And my teammates did a great job just finding me whenever I was open and giving me the best look. She's an amazing point guard, so she's gonna find you wherever you are if you open. And I feel like the connection being going on. I just haven't been making the lifts, and today I was finally able to make them. But it's amazing to have her here and play with her because she's a vet and she's always helping me and telling me to turn the page and keep going and stay confident in myself. So it's amazing to have her as a point guard.
Hey Camilla, not only were you said you played with confidence, but we also not just saw it in the scoring, but also with your assisting, being able to find kickouts where there when you didn't have the best positioning. What are things that you want to help do to just grow your game, not only from a scoring standpoint, but from an assisting standpoint?
I feel like that's a thing that I normally do and people don't really notice. I'm a great passer. Like I like to pass and I think you'll probably know that I like to pass more than score. So whenever the double come in, I'm gonna try to find the open pass person.
First, congratulations on the win. Hi. Can you just talk about Sloot and just what she means to this team?
She means a lot for this team. She done a lot in here, and she's one of our vets, and she's always there for us. So just by having her, like I said, it's special. You know, like she's always there for us. She's always helping us and supporting us, and she's a leader, and we like to follow her example. Like she's always early in the gym. She always stretching, doing extra work. So it's amazing to have somebody like that, and she always talking to us as well, and just lifting us up.
Camilla, I just wanted to get your thoughts on Errol Atkins. She made several winning plays tonight. Just wanted to get your thoughts.
A is amazing. You know, she's a playmaker. She's gonna go out there and do whatever she gotta do. So it's amazing to also have her as a vet. You know, she played hard. She played hard for 40 minutes, and I'm really proud of her.
Hey Camilla, for to be able to get a win, the first win of the season in such thrilling fashion, the back and forth battle, and you obviously, contributing in immense ways. What does it mean for you to be able to get the first win of the season in this sort of fashion?
It means a lot to us. I think we was hungry for a win, and we just all happy that we finally was able to come together and play like Chicago Sky today and do what we did tonight and got the win.
Camila, you guys really took better care of the ball today. Do you feel like that was because you're learning each other more, chemistry is improving, or what did you think that was?
Yeah, I feel like the chemistry is definitely improving, but that's something that was on our key so in the game, and we knew we turned the ball over a lot the last couple of games, and we had to fix that. So we went out there and did it.
Right. So the last couple games, a little bit, there's a struggle to maybe finish. In this game, what was different in that fourth quarter? You guys feel like you were able to keep up, and what changed about the way you were able to finish the game?
I think we played together. We play for one another. And one thing about us, when somebody is very energetic, we tend to fit in off that energy. So just playing together, playing like Chicago Sky basketball. And yeah.
Hey, Camilla, how much was the home crowd a boost to sort of help you guys get over the finish line? Because you could really hear them getting loud, especially in that fourth quarter.
The fans means a lot to us, and it's amazing to have them, and they be loud and energetic through the whole game. So it's amazing for us to have them because the energy is special. You know, when you're out there on the court and you hear them cheering you on, you just feeding off the energy, and that gets you going.
Hey Sloot,
Hey,
right here.
hi.
You set a record today, all-time Sky leading scorer and also made shots leader as well. And you surpassed your wife in both of those categories. To do that here in only the fourth game of the season to kind of get that record out of the way. One, what does that record mean to you? And two, has there been any conversation between you and Allie competitively about you surpassing her record?
Um, well, first, for what it means to me, the most is just my time spent here. Obviously, it took me 1,000 years to do it, but it just I think it just speaks to like the commitment that I made to the Chicago Sky, and their commitment to me as well. They drafted me and let me kind of develop, and it wasn't always easy. We had a lot of tough seasons. And so that means the most to me. I try not to get attached to individual records because records are meant to be broken, and this one will be at some point. But for me to pass my wife, I think it kind of speaks kind of what I talked about is our commitment together to this franchise. And she spent less years here than I did, and she's a scorer and deserves this record, but I think she's going to let me hold on to it for a while. We have some conversations, and it's basically just if anyone's going to beat it, she's glad it's me. But we'll be a 1-2 punch for a while.
And then just to get back to the game, in the last 4 minutes, you guys went on a 16-8 run. There was a timeout right before, right around the media timeout. What was said in that timeout for you guys to kind of lock in and come out with the win offensively?
I think the biggest message was to not focus so much on winning the game, but making winning plays. I think that's kind of our message moving forward is we don't, we desperately wanted to win. We can't deny that. But, I think our focus should be on making winning plays, whatever that takes. And I think that's what you saw. People focus. I mean, I think everybody at one point in the fourth quarter probably made a winning type play. And that's what we're going to need every single night.
Courtney, going back to the record, I know you said that you don't kind of try to keep track of those things. How aware of that were you coming into tonight? Did you know like which basket it was going to happen on? It didn't seem like the first time they shouted you out on the Jumbotron that you really noticed it. Just kind of what was that like for you?
Yeah, I knew going into the game, but I had lost track of how many points I actually had. And so I was unaware until I heard the crowd. And I was like, wait a second. And then I looked up and I saw the camera was on me. So, I knew that the points that I had to get, but I was so focused on the game that, but I think it was a perfect moment, big plays down the stretch to help us get the win, to get the record would have not been as exciting if we didn't get the win tonight for sure.
And then that dagger play that you guys had at the end felt like kind of a snapshot of what Tyler and you and kind of this whole team has described of wanting this team's ethos to be the pick and roll, the way that the bigs were passing, the kick out, like all of that. Just kind of what do you think can be learned about who this guy can be kind of from that play for that dagger shot?
Yeah, I think that when we play together, we move the ball and everybody's kind of clicking that we're going to be hard to guard. I think when we focus on just one action, teams can kind of shrink the floor on us, and they've been doing that. I think we got paint touches to sprays, and that was a big play that everybody touched it, and it ended up with a big shot aerial. That's what I talk about when I say winning plays. I think Mill probably could have shot it, but she made the extra. Same with Angel. Angel made the extra. That's unselfish basketball in a really big moment.
Courtney, to your left, you're talking about being desperate for that win at the end, and you've this deep in your career, the things that you've played for, championships, things like that. We see the emotion when you get that layup near the end. What is it that gives you that fire on a Thursday night game in May, early in the season?
I think it's just how much, like all of it, the whole story. Coming back to the Sky, kind of our struggles early. Being back in front of all the Sky fans, a great crowd tonight on a Thursday night. All of those emotions I hate being that person that's so desperate for wins because, it's hard to win in this league. And I've been on teams that like we've had struggles, but like I said, if you're focused on the right things, the winning usually take care of itself. And I think that was kind of all the emotions of the last few weeks. And how much we're really all committed and putting into this, it's easy to lose 4 games and 3 games, 4 games, 4, damn. And kind of, you see teams start to disconnect, but that isn't the case for this team. And I think that's what you saw tonight and how much we can enjoy each other, play for each other. And, hopefully that results in a lot more wins.
Okay, I know you've already talked about it a little bit, but just talk about in retrospect when you first got to the team, just some of the people that helped you along the way, and then you returning, just how you want to help the future of this team.
Yeah. That's all of those reasons, a big reason why I came back, just because of the people that are still here that took a chance on me out of college. And like I said, let me grow, let me develop, really trust in me to lead this team. And a lot of those people are still here. The roster looks a lot different, but those people that really invested in me, the management, front office, all of those, they mean everything to me. And it's really important to me that I leave this place better than when I came. And that's a big reason why I came back. And I think they're doing a great job of building for the future. We got great youth, and I think that I just am glad to be a part of that.
Courtney, Tanisha Wright was honored before the game. What has her impact been on you and the team so far?
She's been awesome for us. She's a loud voice. She's a winner. She knows how to win in this league. She keeps us all, on the straight and narrow. She's tough, and I love that about her. I mean, we kind of can go back and forth, and she knows that I'll take it, and she's hard on me, and I appreciate that. Being 15 years in the league, to have a coach that really, can hold me accountable. She's very important to this team.
Salute, you guys earlier in the season had difficulties of withstanding runs, but what was different for you tonight in that area?
Yeah, I think just our focus on making winning plays, getting stops when we really needed it, knowing I think Tyler was great about calling timeouts during those runs and being able to stop the bleeding. And just our connectivity in the huddle, knowing, okay, that's their run. They're a good team. They're teams in this league are always going to make runs, and just being able to withstand it and then turn around and make plays on the offensive end and do it together. We had big people step up at different times all game, and that's huge for us.
Salute, I was just wondering, what does it mean to you to have an organization and a league that pays such close attention to issues like the KYAO fund and all the stuff around that?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, and obviously it's very dear to my heart. I just had lost my mom to cancer, and so for this, the league, especially the team, to kind of pour into that, and whether it's awareness or fundraising, it's a big deal, and we can impact a lot of people. And I think that's the biggest job that we should have as professional athletes with our platform, is just being able to impact and touch people's lives.
Hey, Salute, what does it mean to you to be able to, not only just, break the record, but also to be able to come out on top, first win of the season, and to be able to do so in dramatic fashion, thrilling back and forth type of game?
Yeah, it was a big win for us. Big night all around. I think that we came in this, hyper focused, knowing that we're going to play them again. Just wanting to set the tone, and kind of, I kind of harped on it a lot, make winning plays, and we're going to continue to do that.
This version of Camila, we've seen it in flashes throughout her pro career. As you're getting to know her as a vet, what do you think it takes to kind of get that out of her on a consistent basis? What have you found is kind of the right touch or right approach to take with her?
I think she needs to touch the ball a lot. We have to play through her. She likes to feel it, and she's so unselfish. She's a great passer. And I think she understands the game really well. And so we have to play through her more often. Just knowing that, getting the matchups that we like with her. I think she touched on the first 4 or 5 possessions, and that is huge for us, setting the tone, getting paint points. And she also knows when to kick it out, and to have a 6-7 post player like that, she's got to get a lot of touches for us.